Racist NFL player just denounced the U.S. after devastating blow. Now look where he's headed. One of the two players leading the charge and subsequent demise of the 2017-18 NFL season this year was Seattle Seahawks' Michael Bennett, who picked up where unemployable Colin Kaepernick left off. It wasn't enough to see that his protesting predecessor can't get signed to a single team in the NFL. Now, Bennett wanted to follow his lead in every way he could. Unfortunately for him, this included denouncing the United States, not only proving that at the root of kneeling is a hate for the country whose turf you're taking a knee on, but that these players will stop at nothing simply to show defiance of President Donald Trump. Bennett just sealed his fate forever with where he's headed now. Bennett's boycott of the national anthem began as a message that he was making seemingly just for attention. He got it because fans couldn't believe that someone was going to carry on Kaepernick's legacy that outlasted his career. Parking his backside on the bench wasn't disrespectful enough for Bennett, who then turned his message about supposed oppression and injustice into a full-on violent racism on the field. The sick new trend he began entailed raising the Black Power salute every time he sacks a white player on the field, a disgusting racist symbol that black supremacists have used for decades to display their supremacy over the white race, as Prissy Holly previously reported for Freedom Daily. Bennett didn't stop there. He's not hiding his hate for the U.S. any longer and isn't afraid to put that disgusting sentiment on full display. He's suffering such a level of Trump derangement syndrome that he actually believes he's a slave. Proving that this entitled millionaire player never actually knew what he was kneeling for is to claim he's owned by the NFL and treated poorly because of it. Claiming this as well as slamming America in his rant didn't end well for him. A professional football player viciously compared NFL owners who require players to stand during the national anthem with the Supreme Court's Dred Scott decision, the infamous 1857 ruling that classified enslaved African Americans as property and paved the way for the American Civil War, according to Hannity. Seattle Seahawks defensive end Michael Bennett was speaking with reporters this week when he made the outrageous comparison, saying players were treated as property who don't have the ability to be a person first. The report added, "It reminded me of the Dred Scott case. You're property, so you don't have the ability to be a person first," Bennett told reporters Wednesday, according to Breitbart. "I think that in this generation, I think that sends the wrong message to young kids and young people all across the world that your employer doesn't see you as a human being, they see you as a piece of property, and if that's the case, then I don't get it. I just don't get why you don't see us as human beings first." Dred Scott v. Sanford invalidated the standing of any African American whose ancestors toiled as slaves in America to sue in federal court and maintained that the federal government possessed no power to regulate the spread of slavery in territories acquired after the ratification of the Constitution. Jones announced, "If we are disrespecting the flag, then we won't play, period." Breitbart explained, forgetting that the NFL is a business and despite playing a game for a profession, being an athlete on the team is a job and a well-paid one at that, Bennett didn't think it's right for Cowboys owner Jerry Jones to say that players would be out of the game for not standing for the anthem. Claiming this makes players slaves by comparing them to an actual slave case just proves how ignorant he is to the cause he says he's promoting by kneeling. Other black people in this country struggling and working hard for a living should be offended by this millionaire playing making this assertion. All of America, regardless of race, should find this remark deplorable for the fact that he's actually slamming the U.S. that's afforded him the incredible opportunity in professional sports that he's in now, but doesn't seem to appreciate. So, where's Bennett headed now? Down the same path as Kaepernick because people are repulsed by his arrogance and gross disrespect. Bennett is particularly enraged and has said he will not stop kneeling no matter what this season now over the fact that his protesting predecessor is still unemployed. He blames this too on racism within the league, not Kaepernick's own actions which have systematically caused the NFL to crumble this season. Ratings through the first 6 weeks of the 2017 season decreased 7.5% compared to last year's first 6 weeks and 18.7% from the first 6 weeks of 2015, according to Breitbart. Bennett can keep protesting over Kaepernick not being able to work and soon they can both pout together in the afterglow of their careers coming to an abrupt end.